I'm here with Riley Cochrane,
Yeah.
musician, photographer, multi-talented man.
Indeed.
He's a busy boy. You do a lot of things, bro.
Yeah, I'm around all the time. I'm just trying to do as much as I can, really.
Yeah, you got like your bands. I had to check it out. Is it Pleiades? Am I saying that right?
Yep, you are.
Nailed it, bro.
One of the first to say it right,
Yes.
surprisingly.
And then the other one, is that a silent Q?
No.
No. So how do you say it?
Give me your first shot, and then I'll tell you that you're wrong.
Okay. Hold on a minute. I need to bring it up. I know it starts with Q, and it's in like a strange spelling. There we go.
Yeah.
I want to say Kyoko. No.
No, not at all.
All right, what is it?
Well, if you ask one of your previous podcasters, Stag, Yarrow, he would say Quokka. If you asked anyone in the last month or so, they would say Kyoko.
Kyoko.
But how I would pronounce it is Kyoto.
Kyoto. Oh, it's a Japanese word.
No, it's an acronym that I made up.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, you're making the acronym sound Japanese.
Yeah, it's God, I'm forgetting it myself now. Quintessence, yearning, onslaught, kairos, something, reality.
Right.
Yeah.
Why? Why'd you come up with it?
Because I'm expressing myself in however way I can with it, and my own reality and quintessence, and anything I want. So it's not going to be music people are going to enjoy. It's going to be music that is scraping the edge of my brain.
Mm-hmm. I like that. So
making
already
what I
you
want.
know that it's like completely centered around what you want to do. in
Yeah,
terms
it's my
of
way of expressing myself,
expressing.
and
It's purely an expression tool.
definitely.
Nice.
Yeah. Whilst Pleiades is more good sounding music.
More good sounding.
Yeah.
Did you describe that? Because like the other one's more melodic death metal, black metal.
Yeah. Pleiades is melodic, black and speed, and Kyoko is about 12 genres.
I love how that's still a thing. It's like melodic black metal. It's like
Yeah.
it just kind of makes me giggle a bit because it's like black metal traditionally is like just fucking in a cave, like tremolo picking and wailing
even
away.
with black metal in a cave, you can still hear
There's a melody.
melodic part, and there's melodies to it. That's probably why it's one of my favorite genres of the metal, because I just love melodic stuff, and black metal having that, even when it's not classed as melodic, there's emotion to it, and that's what I like about it. It's the raw feeling that you get, and that's what I'm doing with Kyoto, and that is also what I'm going to be doing with Pleiades. I'm going to be on the floor, probably crying on stage.
The first thing that came to my head is like, why are you so emotional? And I'm like, oh, you're a teenager. No,
Wow.
I'm joking. It's more like, what led you to why to have those two separate projects? Did you want one to be a little bit more digestible and the other one to be, like you're saying, completely raw and to the, balls to the wall, like you said, crying and stuff like that?
Well, both projects are probably going to lead to me crying. But I originally just started Pleiades to have a band and just enjoy myself and express myself. And then I realized that I'm going to need to express myself in different ways. With Pleiades, I'm going to express myself in ways that will help other people. And we base a lot of our songs on healing metal, which sounds stupid for black metal, but we're trying to help people through their own darkness by using our own to explain that. And then with Kyoto, it's a bit more just, I'm sad. Hear my sadness. Yup.
No, it's good avenues, bro. Like, I think, it's funny because when I was 16, but like when when I was sort of making music at that age, I definitely feel like there's a part of me that remembers just how sensitive I kind of was to not just like lyrics and like the sound of music, but more like to just I think just like life around me a lot. But what I will say in comparison now is I really do feel like it's doomsday a lot for younger people. Sometimes I feel like it is a bit harder for you guys in some ways.
I don't know. I just have a lot of my own shit.
All your own stuff? It's nothing to do with bigger picture stuff? You say it's just more personal?
Yeah, definitely a lot more personal.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll be about the bigger picture, but majority of the time it's my personal stuff.
Right.
Attempting to get people in similar situations out of it, or just mention that with both projects.
Nice. It's a very nice kind of rounded way of looking at it, because I feel like I don't know, the only way I can like compare it to is like myself, so you have to bear with me. Is like basically like when I remember I would make music that I wanted to hear and that I really liked, and I didn't think about helping people. I never did. Like, I mean, and it's nice that you're kind of thinking of that, if it's going to do that.
Well, that's what I do all my work in the scene for.
I know you do all the photography stuff, which is great. There's not many people doing that. To be honest, like, photographers have always been around in the scene.
They're around in the scene, but it's more of a gateway for them to get to larger places, and not many of them stick around. And I'm not taking a jab at other photographers. I love other photographers, but it's more for selfish reasons, I would say, that they stay around, and I'd like to try to do the opposite of that and just help people and capture memories that could otherwise be forgotten.
Yeah, definitely with underground shows. And I think I don't want to keep talking about it on here, but I definitely like this more like recent years of people wanting to help each other out a lot more in the scene. And I think what you're doing is providing, especially the photography element, and the photos look cool, man. Like, you're doing a lot of like cool photos. Like, I still can't figure out how to work a camera. So well done for you for that. Is that something you want to do? Is that something you're thinking of maybe doing more of?
Yes.
Like, is that
definitely.
like, you got both, obviously you got music, photography, kind of go hand in hand in some ways.
Some ways.
You're sort of seeing like which one at the moment gives you more satisfaction? Or do both
both in their own. I can't really decide, and I can make time for all of it. I've got a lot of free time, and I use most of that free time on helping out as much as I possibly can. And then obviously the music is all planned in my head. The photography, it's all planned in my head. I've got major schedules. I've got a book with me somewhere in my pockets. And I just like to do more and more and more. I need to keep my brain busy. I get more satisfaction from doing the photos because I can do that consistently. With the music, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of planning. But I'm still willing to put in the effort for that and the photography at the same time. As well as I'm planning on running quite a few gigs. I'm part of the All Ages Association with Whammy and a bunch of other stuff.
When did that start?
Sometime late last year, we did the darts gig on
I saw that you
December
took photos of a darts gig.
8th, yeah.
Nice.
I was also part of the crew there. And then they did the Sweet Treats matinee show later that month. And I think we're planning some stuff for March, so should be pretty good.
Hell yeah. I didn't know Whammy was doing that. That's great. It's really good like when there's a bit more support for all age shows, because
it's definitely
it does a bit of this. It does a bit of this,
It'll never fully die, but it has its low drops, and this is one of the lowest drops it's been in a very long time.
Really? Would you say it's the lowest drop it's been in, like last few years?
Yeah, the last couple of years, for sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't know much. I haven't been in it for too long. But from what I've heard, this is
you started like beginning of last year?
April 20th last year.
Yeah, I was going to say that's when I saw you started posting April 2024. So that's when you started being kind of more involved.
I didn't start doing photography till a month after that.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, the all ages stuff is like this, bro.
Yeah.
Ever since like back in my day,
Back in
like
your
it was
day.
like it's literally just what it says. But like at the time of like, for example, the 2000s of New Zealand music, it was a beautiful time. I'll be honest, because there's a lot of funding behind it, and there was music popping up everywhere. It was
Yeah.
pretty awesome in every genre. It was sick.
Every genre, yeah.
But then it kind of like, I don't know, recession happened, 2008, then alternative music started doing a bit of this, and
Yeah.
then like the scene round, especially Auckland, and probably the rest of New Zealand, was getting like quite small, started coming up and up, and then all ages shows were like, had the real big thing, like Zeal, like that was like a big thing. I'm assuming they still do some gigs, but that was like the place
Yeah.
at one point. And Alan Melville Centre, if you don't remember that.
No clue.
You don't know? Oh, it's in the city. It's like Chancery Place and that, but they used to have quite a few little local shows there and that. So there's like venues like come and go, you know?
Oh,
And,
absolutely. Like, we're in a very big venue decline, especially after losing Greatland Library Hall last year and Old Folks Arse.
yeah, old folks, that was a thing for a bit.
Yeah, it's taken the hit because it was in the Greyland area. That attacked three venues. Old Folks, obviously, Greyland Library Hall, and the Central Vineyard Church. Yeah. What? Yeah.
Yeah. It's see, this is like the bigger picture stuff we're getting into now, because that's the thing, is like, you know, economic times cause difficulty, but what happens out of it is a lot of great art, and that's what's been amazing since the last few years. I keep saying it on here, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Like, it's one of the great things that's come out of like COVID and all that shit, is literally the amount of art that's come out and people who want to get out and support the scene, even like yourself. Do you find there are a lot? I mean, I've had a few people like around your age group, like Fan Club on here. Where's Jai? Not quite in the hardcore metal or black metal scene, but
I have shot for Fan Club in the past, and I have seen Where's Dry live. So
oh, nice. Oh, you have done photos for them. You've done photos for everybody.
Yeah,
now that I think about it,
I
I'm
do
like
every
thinking of,
genre.
I'm thinking of like your and oh no, I mean like around that age group. And like
yes.
what I was getting to was like was being a part of a music scene. Has that become like, because like when like I'm trying to like think like for like 15, 16-year-olds now, like a part of what I would believe is like there's so much time spent behind a screen often that there's like a real big more desire for connection.
Yeah.
Because your daily life can really be easily locked into a screen. I mean, even mine, to be honest.
sure.
But so I just feel like this, especially with like a lot of younger bands, especially ones like the ones I've seen, like Fan Club and things like that, and even a few other younger hardcore bands, can't remember the name right now. Like, there's definitely like buzz with like that, like with that age group.
Yeah.
And like venues of like, you know, 30, 40 people, which I'm just going to be real, is quite a lot for those, just regardless, right? So I'm just wondering for you, like, what would you say for your, like, you know, not just speak on everyone in your age group, but what do you think is like the big draw card for it?
The draw card for
Like just being in the, you know, like with all these bands
Getting out there.
yeah.
Well, people have a strive for connection, and you're going to get a tinge of that connection online, and you're going to see that, and it's going to be like a drug. You're going to strive for it even more and more and more, and people are going to strive for it so much that they're going to start coming out. That's what I did. I came into the scene because actually there's like a big bunch of lore on why I came into the scene, but I came in the scene for connection and to be around people that I can connect with in ways that otherwise cannot be done online, because online, as amazing as it is, it's not the place for much. It's a trap, really.
Pretty wise for a 16-year-old, bro.
So that strive is going to lead people my age out into the scene. They're going to make their friends. They're going to make their music groups. They're going to strive for their connection and their success and find their people. Fuck online.
Yeah.
That's why I'm out every week.
Yeah, it's great. No, it's really good. Because I have noticed this kind of or what I call it, no, reaction, sorry, to like a lot more people around not just like probably I would say your age, but looking for other avenues to get out there because also life is very expensive.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
Again, talking about bigger things. But the reason I say that is because I just this is for me trying to understand like where you go, like where like, I'm 30, bro, so I'm trying to understand like where like you guys come from, like in terms of moving out of like that, of like the not wanting, which is really good, like not wanting to just seclude yourself and just play like games or just like fuck
Yeah,
around online. And then looking for like, because one thing I've also noticed is like the kind of like music that gets made more and production changing.
yeah,
Because production now sounds a bit more, even on pop tracks, has changed. It used to be super clean. Some of it is clean, but a lot of it now is a bit rougher.
bit lazy.
A bit lazy, but that's deliberate though.
Mm.
I think that's been done because I think, I hate saying people around your age, but I can't help but think of anything else to say. But people around your age, like you guys don't like it when it's all cleaned up
Well, that depends really. I mean,
on the genre.
yeah, definitely. I mean, for what I make, I mean, the purpose isn't for it to be shit, but the purpose
Oh no
is for
no,
it to be
sorry, I wasn't
expressive.
meaning just like your music. I was meaning
Oh,
like
no, no, no. Yeah,
like
I'm
mainstream
getting
stuff.
there.
Oh yeah, right.
But then obviously for the pop stuff, people nowadays, I mean, you hear the older stuff, and as you say, it's more cleaned up, it's more connected, it's more produced, and as you say again, it's a lot rougher nowadays. I feel like that's just times changing, and people like that clean stuff, but they need more emotion. And when you overproduce stuff, you're not going to get that emotion from it. And
No,
for people my age, with all this emotion, with the online trap, with all this stuff going on, it's something you need to feel from music.
yeah. I guess like you would be like a part. Well, I don't know if you were specifically, but like growing up with like an iPad, because that's something that I'd imagine would sort of could distance yourself a bit from like
Oh no, definitely.
reality, and in terms of like, because not saying you, bro, but just in
Oh no,
general,
I'm
like when I remember like
definitely was.
I was
Yes.
right.
Crazy Riley Law drop. I like all of pre 22 and stuff like that. I was chronically online, never off any games, never off any device, iPads, anything. I was on everything. I was trapped, as I've been talking about this entire time. It's so hard to get out of and get into the world, but once you do, it's the most freeing feeling you will ever experience. So if you are like this, if you're watching this on an iPad, put it the fuck down. Seriously, turn it off, throw it away, sell it, live life.
Oh, it's good that you can like realize that stuff, but it's difficult if that's all you know. And that's the thing, like
Yeah.
you gotta like break out of certain patterns of how you're raised. I mean, it's even deeper. We won't quite go we won't quite go all the way there. But I will say on the part of like technology, because even like for me, like like I guess for me, I'm still part of that time. Is like, well, I played outside all day,
Yeah.
and then computers, and then phones, and then like the smartphone was the game changer, and search engines, and suddenly algorithms, and it's just like fucking weird. Things got weird. Like everyone, and then how things are now, and I've always felt like for people like your age or younger, I've always been a bit like, fuck, like this is all like this is kind of shit.
Yeah, definitely.
But in New Zealand, like it's probably a little bit better than some places, but
Slightly.
I mean, like there's more like weather-wise outdoors. That's kind of what I'm talking about. There's more things like you're not secluded in like Beijing, China, or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No,
And like you're
definitely.
just in a concrete jungle all day. You can get out to nature.
Is it a New York reference?
It could be. I didn't think of that. I just could be. But yeah, no, it's good, bro. So okay. So what was your introduction into alternative music? What was the first band? Like, a lot of bands on the fucking on the drip right there. What was the first one? Chili's.
Red Hot Chili Peppers, mate.
First one.
First one. that would be me and my father's ute every time picking up scrap or just going through places during the summer. We used to go around Auckland and climb all the hills, and the whole time we'd just be blasting all of Californication, all of Stadium Arcadium, all of The Getaway. It was just my proper introduction into alternative music. And then from mother's side, also Chili's, but also more of the Kiwi rock side, so LMNOP, Good Shirt, and She Hard, and stuff like that. And all of that cycled me to where I am now. So I got that to pay tribute to what started where I am.
For Chili's. Can he sing? Can he not? Doesn't matter.
He can't sing.
But it doesn't matter.
I can.
You can. Well, bro, you got the hell of a vocals if you're doing, like, I can't scream for shit. I remember when I was in a band, I could do, like, some, oh, God, like, really crappy, like, growls and stuff, but let's be honest, it was on the background, and that was the background for a reason. How do you, since you're doing a lot of very heavy music, how do you preserve your voice? How do you look after it? And this episode is sponsored by me. Do you struggle with sleeping, and particularly struggle with light and sound while sleeping? I think it's time you get the sleep that you deserve. My business, Infinity Sleep, specializes in sleep well-being products to enhance your sleep quality. I've been using sleep masks and earplugs for the past 3 years to help improve my sleep, and I'm so stoked to finally have ones that have been created for my own sleeping needs. If you would like to learn more about my business, Infinity Sleep, please visit our website, www.infinitysleep.co.nz. By making a purchase, you are directly not only supporting a local Kiwi business, but also this podcast. Use the promo code ONLYSCOTT15% and receive 15% off your first order. Go to www.infinitysleep.co.nz to get the sleep that you deserve.
Well, I'm a very closed-off person, and when not working, you'll hardly find me talking. Even if I'm in a group of friends that I really trust, I'll still only jump in when necessary, and I don't do that on purpose. I'm just a naturally quiet person, very closed off, and I have my reasons for that, but don't need to get on to that in a podcast. But I preserve my voice with just being careful, and if you're doing your screams and it's hurting, you need to change how you're doing your screams. Because I use a cycle of exhales and inhales with my screams. And inhales are very risky because they can harm your voice very quickly. And they're very hard to master, even if you think you have a method. And I feel like I do have a method, but I know it'll still hurt me in the long run. So I need to be careful with that and watch myself. And replace it with exhales when needed, and only use them as a backup. But with exhales, they're a bit more easier to not easier to control, but they don't harm you as much. And obviously, if you perfect it, then you're not going to harm yourself at all with your vocals. But I find some days I can't do them, some days I can do them perfectly, and it just sounds amazing. But even then, I don't want to, like, jump my gun, but I've got quite a range with my screams. I have my lows, I have my highs, I can do a lot, and I don't really express that much, so I can't wait to get on the stage. It's going to be amazing. I've jumped on a couple times with Late to Chelsea.
Yeah, good band.
Oh, yeah, they're really good.
Fun fellas.
Late to Chelsea. Yeah. Seeing them tomorrow. They're my favourite local band. Actually, the reason I got into the scene. So there's a whole bunch of stuff there I'm sure we can get into later.
Yeah, they're great. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah. But yeah, the vocals, it's all about just making sure you're not in pain while doing it. You can be in pain afterwards. You're going to get in pain even if you're just singing. It's going to hurt even just talking for an extended period of time. I'm sure you know that, you podcast.
I mean, I used to sing, so I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. You're going to hurt no matter what. It's just about how you preserve that and how you take care of your voice. Like,
You do any like warm ups?
Yes.
You got like a
Yeah.
little routine.
I do have a little routine. Yes.
That's good. Go
I
on, you
always
bro.
start with Bliss by the
Ah,
Dudes.
tune. Do you like a death metal version or something?
No.
No, I used to
It's
nice.
you do that normally, and I find the yars really make your voice pop in the morning. So I get in the shower, I'll sing that, and then I'll sing something else, and the normal voice will be warmed up, and then to warm up the screams, I would just, like the entire day while I'm waiting for band practice or I'm waiting to get on stage, I would just make noises throughout the day, just fucking
There's like a lot of like different noises, that you kind of have to make.
Yeah, for sure.
It's interesting, that world. I never really went into the black metal world. I know about it, and I've watched a few Mayhem documentaries.
Oh, God.
and shit like that. So I know about it. And it's always like,
That's one way to start.
oh no, this is like years back. I remember like I heard about Gorgoroth, another one.
Yeah, I got a Gorgoroth
Gal.
patch over here.
I got a fucking hell. I remember that, like watching. I was that dude who like made someone drink their own blood and stuff. I'm like, the man, bro.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it is a bit boring in Norway. You gotta spice it up.
Definitely controversial, but I mean, as I said earlier, and I know someone watching this, Cal, is going to call me cringe for saying this, but I love it for the emotion. I love it for just the raw feeling of. I mean, take Xasther for example. That he's a one man solo thing, blah 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 blah, and he. If you were to explain depression in music, that's what it is. And I hate using inspiration, but I would say he is a very big inspiration to Kia ora kora, with the just raw feeling of his mind and his emotions. And
Gal.
no,
Sorry, who are you saying?
Xasther, Xasthur.
Okay.
I have no idea if I'm pronouncing that right, but yeah.
Right. And that sort of, you feel like tackles what depression sounds like.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And that sort of, sorry, this isn't less, I don't know the artist, so this isn't the black metal genre we're talking about?
Yeah.
It's in that sort of
For
world?
sure.
Yeah. And that from Norway? Sweden? Netherlands?
I have no clue.
Not sure?
No.
Yeah. Because a lot of that stuff obviously is, comes from like Scandinavian countries. Is that Netherlands?
There's not too much of it here. I mean, there's Blood Cauldron from Christchurch. There's Abyss at Grave here. I did a shoot for Necronomicon recently. There's me. And then, yeah, like the Auckland scene with black metal, it's all sort of just the same people.
Yeah. It's very small.
Yeah. Do you know the band Grim Remney?
No.
Not black metal, but they're a medical band from here, and the bassist, Alex, he's some kind of black metal god in this, in the scene, and he'll be a part of most things black metal, and then obviously Ginge and Hamish, people like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Stag's Yarrow's eyes. No, it dabbles in it, plays in it.
He's Blackened Doom, but then
I love this. Going right down them genre holes.
yes, he's Blackened Doom.
Black Doom, Blackened.
But his inspirations and his elements really do cycle it a lot of the time. His vocals have a lot of range. He'll cycle a lot, but most of the time, including in his new song that's being released soon, because he usually has it right at the top of his set list at every show, it's very black metal, the vocal elements of it. So I would definitely call him one of the black metal people in this Auckland scene. People can fight me on that, but...
Why do you think there's not much black metal in Auckland? Or in New Zealand? Why do you think there isn't? I want you to know. I want you to tell me what you think.
A lot of people are not worthy. I'm no elitist, but a lot of the black metal that pops up here will be judged on how they sound, how they express, how everything. They can't just class themselves as black metal. Neither can I. I can not say I'm black metal, but I will say I am until proven otherwise.
Do you think that you need to have like face paint and to
No.
only tremolo pick to be black metal?
No. There's no real rules like that, but obviously, I mean, there's basic knowledge and just, it's not really about the sound, it's more about, well, it is, but it's also aesthetic and how expressed. Like, obviously, there's going to be the corpse paint, and I do a lot of corpse paint on myself for, just for fun, because
That's
I enjoy
fun.
it, and I have my own
Yeah.
design for it and everything, with the Pleiades constellation on my forehead with the design as well. So you don't need the corpse paint to be black metal. In fact, it's been so overdone that a lot of people would call it cringe now. So would I, but I still like it. But there's not a lot of black metal on the scene because...
Too niche, you think?
No, not
No?
too niche.
What do you think?
At the moment, we're in a very modern age where a lot of people will attempt to make it and overdo it and overproduce it.
Oh.
And it's not going to be true black metal.
Right. It's going to be too clean.
Not even too clean, just too changed. Like, obviously you want to be unique, but it's going to be changed a lot. I don't really have much permission nor knowledge to explain much of black metal, and I will probably have many words said from this.
It is one of those sort of genres.
It is, yes.
It has a lot of...
and I have a feeling I will be
involved.
getting messaged by a couple people after this podcast.
You raised an interesting point. It's got me thinking about, because when I had Jay from Exit Sign on, and we were chatting about there's a level of like, even like in the metal alternative scene in New Zealand, when it gets into the point of noise.
Yeah.
There's like this part where it's like people like heavy stuff, but then when you get noisy, it does turn a lot more people off.
Yep.
It's kind of interesting because I've also had the band... oh god, memory is not doing well. Chasing Titans, there we go.
Yeah.
And we were talking about like the whole screaming part because they're a metalcore, hardcore band, and I was sort of like, I'm sort of like piecing together the layers of like people's like tolerance of how heavy or how far they can go, because it's like obviously like before even Chasing Titans, you have like Linkin Park, which like scrapes, obviously popular band, but heavy, bit of screaming and stuff. You dabble in it, some good distorted guitars. That does turn some people off, but it is still very poppy in a lot of ways, chord structure and, tones. And you level up from that, and I reckon that's kind of like the Chasing Titans, which is sort of like the screaming's a bit heavier, guitars are a bit thrashier, but still like a lot of people, like still got some singing in it. So it's like, can still... You're cancelling out some people there, but in the metal scene, it's like, can tolerate that. And some people in the metal scene would be like, nah, it's too pussy. And it's like, okay. And then you get the level up from that, which is like, I'd say, I could probably say a band like, what's a local, I want to give out a shout out to like a local band now, like a death metal band, like who does death metal?
Could say Dark Tide. I think they're more deathcore though.
Yeah, if there's a lot of breakdowns, I guess since we're doing this, let's do it properly, So I guess like the death metal sounds. If I'm thinking of like an old school a band like Def or something, then that kind of like turns off people to a point. But a lot of people who like metal, I mean, you're obviously getting more to the upper echelon of like extreme, right? Mm-hmm. And then above that, I would actually put black metal above that. So then you kind of have like these tiers of like extremities of like which like how it's not about so much how many people, it's like the kind of niches you go up with these sort of extremities of music. And because like the heaviest thing I've ever listened to is probably Lorna Shore might be the heaviest thing I've heard. I think. I mean, I've heard black metal, but I don't know. I'm kind of I'm like talking about like a new band, newish band.
Right.
Yeah. You think Lorna Shore's very heavy? No.
No.
Bring it on. What's like? Yeah. Okay. Well, what's a heavy band in your eyes?
A heavy band in my eyes.
Let's get elitist. Let's just fucking get there.
I'm gonna shout out an Australian band. They're called Sylvan Awe. They're not the heaviest. They're black metal, but they've got a lot of more melodic, adventurous type parts, and they've also got major doom parts. Their songs change genres mid-song. It's awesome, but they cycle that very well. And I don't know. Black metal is obviously... God, you're going to get me killed for this.
We brought on the elitist shit, bro. We're going to go there. That's why I wanted to do the tiers.
It's a very extreme genre, and yes, as you say, it is around the top of the tiers. And that would turn a lot of people off, just the pure noise, ambience, and just unheard of screams of agony.
It's very like grating's the right word. It's because it's so high pitched. It's very trebly. Some of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of more old school shit. I haven't listened to black metal in a minute. I'll be real with you.
Some of it is very scrapey and grating, but I mean, if you dive the subgenres, which not many people do, they'll just be like black metal, and then listen to that and be like, holy fuck, this is shit. But obviously, if you dive the subgenres, you're going to get DSPM, and that's going to be just sad, depressive shit with just someone screaming in agony the entire song. Or you could just get straight ambience, which is just going to be just, you're on an adventure. Or, there's a lot to the genre other than just tremolo picking and screaming.
I know.
I
like to say that.
Yes. There's a lot to it, and you can cycle in a lot of elements. It goes very well with doom, as we know. With
black metal has evolved a lot, though.
Yes, it has definitely.
Because when I think of black metal, I know what you're saying, but a part of my brain is still stuck in like the 80s and 90s, which is
still that is the second
still a bit of a
second and first phase of black metal. That's fine. That's good. Where we are at right now is a very modern form of black metal, and a lot of people don't like it, and it's thrown a lot of the black metal elitists off.
Oh, but that's like any genre, though, bro.
Exactly. It's all been modernized and ruined in some way or the other, but...
You reckon it's been ruined?
It's in a place where it's not quite ruined yet. It's in a rough era.
Okay. What defines it being in a rough era?
It's slowed down a lot. I mean, it's black metal. It's going to be slowed down a lot with who's making it, especially after like the American ways and stuff of overproducing it, or not overproducing it, I mean like overdoing it, just so much of it. It's in a very slow point, but also not in a very slow point because it's been around for a while and it's being produced more than it was in the 80s, yet a lot of it I wouldn't class as black metal. Like, yes, you can cycle other genres into it, but it's not going to be black metal. And I hate elitism, but I'm going to be a major elitist right now. So many fucking posers wearing their little Burzum shirts and their Bathory shirts. Like that's the only thing they can find. Yes, I have a Burzum patch. Yes, I have a Bathory patch. Yes, I have a Darkthrone patch. Great bands. Dive the fucking genre. There's so much to it to learn. You're going to be learning constantly. You're going to be getting quizzed constantly. It is not a lifestyle, and I don't exclusively listen to it, but it's more of a fight.
A fight?
Definitely.
Why would you say it's a fight? Because, what? The posers, fuck, it's so funny. I haven't heard someone say that in a while.
Really?
No, I haven't.
I probably shouldn't have, but...
bro, bring it on. The posers, man.
Yeah, the fucking posers.
The fucking posers, bro. They don't know black metal.
It's not about not
I love
knowing it.
this shit.
Obviously, they'll
I love
know
this shit.
they'll know some of it, and they're trying, and I do respect them for trying.
Are you one of those guys who goes up to people like name 3 bands off that band
No,
shit?
I'm not an elitist. I just have some disrespect for people thinking they're not who they are.
Oh.
They're following society in a way where they're not being themselves, and they should be themselves. They can be a poser and grow from it. I'm sure I was a poser once upon a time. I know I was. But
Oh, that's funny.
you can
man.
grow from it in so many ways. You just need to, learn yourself. You can't follow the society guidelines the entire time.
What defines a poser to you?
Someone who changes their entire personality to be someone else, or listen to a type of music that would please
Other
someone
people.
that they would look up to.
Right. So it pleases the people. So they listen to that music to try and fit in with other people. They don't listen to it because they actually like it or give a shit about it.
Well, in a way, yes. Obviously, some of them will like it and gain from it. I mean, when I started listening to black metal, I was a massive fucking poser. I wanted to listen to it because I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to learn more of it, but I also wanted to please a couple people. But now that I've been listening to it for a very long time, I can't even label when I started. Like, I would have heard it years and years ago, but then I would have been like, and I've done my deep dives over the years, and I'm set in stone on, holy fuck, this is beautiful. And a lot of people won't see that, because obviously it just sounds like straight noise. But if you can itch your brain into loving it, then you're going to really enjoy it. And I oftentimes, I don't exclusively listen to black metal. I have a Red Hot Chili Peppers tattoo.
No. You also got like Black Sabbath, Lamb of God, you know, Sepultura,
I've got
Slayer,
Punk Pants, bloody...
a man of all genres.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm not listening to black metal, I'm either listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers, Kiwi rock, or sad acoustic bullshit.
Yeah. That's good. It's
so
good to mix it up.
It's just, you need to be yourself. You can't exclusively listen to a genre.
But maybe they're trying to find themselves, though, whilst being a poser. You thought of that?
And that is true, but they can find themselves quietly.
Find themselves quietly.
Where I'm going at with the poses I'm talking about would be the more they find this genre and they know it would please someone for them to be listening to it, so they go all out, they buy stuff, they constantly listen to it, they don't give them time for themselves, and they're wearing all this stuff that would, yeah. I hate the thought of poses and elitism, but sometimes there's the right for it. And a lot of people can fuck off, but there are some sweet people that are learning and can grow.
But you got to give people a chance to find themselves, right?
Yeah, but again, they can do that quietly.
They can do it quietly.
Yeah, there's people...
So does that mean not
this sounds
wearing
very
clothes?
targeted towards a couple of people, and I promise you I am not targeting this at you guys, because I am genuinely friends with you guys. But going out there and you can express that you listen to that music, but you don't need to make it your entire personality.
I can agree with that.
You can make it your entire personality when you have the knowledge to do so.
I don't think you should make it your entire personality regardless, to be honest.
Exactly.
I think, yeah, I think with music, bro, like, honestly, in my opinion, like, love that you're expressing yourself with it, love that you're loving it, and you're doing all the bits, but your personality is not defined by that.
No. Personality is a very massive topic. It cycles everything you can. Your brain is huge. My brain is constantly screaming at me. I have many cycles of my personality. I listen to a lot of things. I do a lot of different hobbies. I do enjoy a lot of weird subjects. I have my own personality. Everyone has their own personality. Everyone just needs to be able to find that and not pose their own personality. You like what you like. You hate what you hate.
A lot of people don't get there, bro. I'll be honest. Trust me. I know people older than me who haven't gotten there. So you're going to find that I mean, you'll find that as you go through your life, that a lot of people will not know that. They won't know themselves, and they don't want to know themselves.
Yeah,
it's something that you'll come across. It's interesting.
Oh, absolutely. It was actually one of the hardest things for me to find who I was. I
don't want to be like that guy,
Yeah.
but I will. I don't think you've fully found who you are
Nah.
just yet.
No, not at all. I'm only 16. I've got
Exactly.
plenty to
Have
learn.
you got time? But that's good. But it's good that you're aware of this stuff. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. All right. Let's move on from this because
let's
I
get
want
to some photography.
Let's get on. I actually want to get onto some other music stuff.
Oh.
So I want to get on to, because you got all these patches on. So the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Let's talk about how you got to black metal. How did you
That's
get
a big
there?
jump, isn't it?
How did you get there? So Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yes.
What was the step after that? If you can remember. What was after
Pantera,
that?
Metallica.
Oh, like pretty quickly? I mean, that's the same era. I kind of...
No, actually, no, it wasn't pretty quickly. Okay, Mum used to have this big CD bag in the car, and I decided one day, because I had an MP3 player, actually, whilst I was, getting hooked on Red Hot Chili Peppers, I was also very into classical music. Still am. I love classical. It's beautiful, and I find a lot of elements in metal music as well with classical. And I used to have a bunch of classical CDs and stuff. Don't know where they are now, but oh well. Anyways, Mum had this big CD bag, and it had everything ranging from soft rock to bloody, from like Black Eyed Peas to Red Hot Chili Peppers to... I've stolen many of those CDs. Awesome. To obviously early 80s thrash, and she never really got any heavier than, say, some of the 2000s new metal. She loves System. She loves Tool.
Damn,
she loves Korn. I never really found myself in that. Like, I love System. I've got a patch right there. And I have a heart for Tool. I don't really like Korn or Slipknot or any of that, while Mum would. But it was just listening to that, listening to early Metallica, listening to early Pantera, that, I was like, this is really good, but I don't know where to go from here. And then, obviously, there was the internet, and I was very hooked on TikTok, as you say. And that didn't get me very far off my music at all. That actually stunted me a lot. And as soon as I got rid of that piece of shit app, I was flying. Like, I'd already been on a path from it. I deleted it in mid-2019, and since then, just my music taste grew and grew and grew and grew. While I was stunted, I would go to about metalcore, deathcore-ish. Now I don't really appreciate those genres as much as I once did. I mean, metalcore, I can find the same melodic sense and beauty in it, say, in Shade. Fucking love that band so much, and I love seeing them live, but I'm not truly the biggest fan of deathcore anymore.
When you say deathcore, we're talking about what? Whitechapel, Fires Murder, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and
Fires Murder's sick, bro. I saw them live. That was mean, bro.
yeah. And from there, I kind of just built... I was very into rock. I still am. I love rock so much. Actually, one of my favorite local bands is the Boondocks.
Yeah, man.
So good. And then from the rock, I began diving in more punk stuff. And because one of the Dark Throne albums was more on the punk / blackened-ish side. It was a very weird album, and I forget the name, but somehow from the punk I got there. I was
they have
this is good.
They have black metal elements, though.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
It's
like
Dark
the
Throne.
90s stuff.
It's-
They got some real
No,
black
they are.
metal shit.
It's my back patch. Not that album. I've got Transylvanian Hungers as my album, as the back patch right now. But my other jacket that I'm working on is a Stag's Yarrow back patch.
Very cool. I like your commitment to a lot of the bands in the scene, bro. It's very
Yeah,
cool.
no, I want to support as much as I can. I mean, I've got Forsworn here. I've got Postnatal Abortion here. Death Chemist here. I've got a couple other local bands, and yeah.
Very cool.
But anyways, where was I? I was.
How are we getting to black metal? That's where we're still going. So we're almost there. So we got to. I think we're at the deathcore part now.
No. We were at the punk into Dark Throne. So I listened to that Dark Throne.
Okay, this makes sense.
That Dark Throne punky album ish. It was a very weird album, but I listened to that constantly, and I was like, where can I go from here? And so this is, I don't even know what year, but I just cycled that album. I cycled the rest of Dark Throne. I found the album that's currently on my back, and it was all just really raw and beautiful. And I never really expressed that I liked black metal, so because I only really started expressing it last year, so I sound very poser. I do sound very poser, and I also look very poser, but
you don't look poser.
I've been listening.
You look like
to
someone who likes heavy music. That's what you look like.
Precisely, and I do.
What a poser.
Exactly. Oh, fucking poser, mate.
Be on the inside.
Yeah. No, but inside,
shouldn't
I've been listening
express
to it for quite a while, and I cycled that for a while, but then I began, deep diving black metal a lot more. I would find people like Vorga, I would find people like Sylvan Awe, who I mentioned earlier, and now I've got like a 3,500 song playlist that is weeks long, and it is beautiful.
Damn. What a playlist. 3,500 songs.
Yep. It is interesting.
Of fucking heavy shit. Mean.
That is just black metal in that playlist. I've got another one for death and noise, and I've got my rock one. I've got a few. But you can never really leave your roots. I've got my comfort music, which has Red Hot Chili Peppers, John Frusciante, which is, I guess, still Red Hot Chili Peppers, Boondocks, Late to Chelsea, just everything that makes me feel warm inside.
Yeah.
At home.
That's nice. What a compliment to the Late to Chelsea and Boondocks.
Well, I have a lot of respect for Late to Chelsea. Do you mind if we go down this topic?
Sure, go.
Okay, so I joined the scene April 20th at Dougfest Junior. Mm-hmm. That was my first ever gig I ever went to.
I was there.
You were there.
That was fun.
Was very shy, very lonely, and had just come out of a mass state of depression. And I met Sam from Late to Chelsea yonks ago, probably 2019, at a campground that we used to go to around the same time of year. I never really spoke to him, but then I saw him online. I was like, I recognize you. Did you used to go to this campground? And we had been talking early 24 to about that April period, about just everything. And then I started talking about music a bit, and he was like, oh, yeah, my band Late to Chelsea is playing on April 20th. So I showed up to that, and I was just immediately hooked. It was amazing. And Late to Chelsea have got me so far from there. I've played on stage with them multiple times. I love these guys to bits. They are such nice people, and I mean, there's so much I can say about them and Doug and Ginge and Scott from the Boondocks. There's so many people that I can just pinpoint as in why I'm here. And they're all just legends to me. I look at them and I just get filled with joy. I'm like, holy shit, you're the reason I'm here. You're the reason for my entire life right now.
It's great that, what I love about what you've said is, kind of you found a connection from all that, going from dark times. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, out of all the places to be, being in the scene, and especially in alternative music, is, it does gravitate, it does pull in certain people.
Yeah.
And it does
for sure.
have an...
I can have many opinions on that. I have many opinions on many people.
You're talking to me, bro. I have a million opinions on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I've been in and out of it for a long time.
Yeah.
So I have...
It's best to be in and out of it. You don't want to
But
sit there.
I'm in a way now where I'm not... I don't play music really. One day I might come back, but I haven't really decided yet.
Don't play music really. I can see a bass guitar, and
I'm talking about I don't play music as much.
Yep.
I'm not in playing gigs. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a bit different. I'm more of a backseat, more of doing stuff like this, more of going to shows with people and sort of talking and that. It's a bit different.
This is still amazing, and it's its own form of art with the scene.
Oh,
It's
it's
all
fun.
art. It's all beauty. It's all
Oh, it's fun. I get to learn about what people tick,
yeah.
And then on that note, the photography.
Mm.
So
Love my photography.
So you got into that a month after you were in the scene.
Yeah, May 26th, it was Roll the Bones. It was my 6th ever gig. It was the Boondocks, Retro Valley, Albert Street, and Back to the Hillside.
So what made you want to pick up the camera at a show?
Well, obviously at Douglas Jr., I'd filmed a few videos on my phone. I was like, oh, wow, that was interesting. When I go to a show, my brain is very hyperactive. I don't have ADHD, and I don't know why, but my brain gets really loud at a gig, and I won't be able to hear the music at all, even though it's right there. So I'll just be looking at the stage, and I'll see these people with no noise.
Oh. What does that mean?
I don't know. Haven't figured that out. But
okay.
What I found to stop that was to distract myself by capturing some memories, and I did that at the third gig I went to. It was May 4th, pop punk party. First time I had actually properly met Doug, and then a lot of people I actually met at that show, and it was Blinder, Stray Dogs, Mariner, and another pop punk band. Apologies, I forgot. I have a very great memory of gigs, but that was a very long time ago. I have gone to 70 plus gigs since then.
They will never forgive you.
I know. I'm so sorry.
It's really okay.
Whoever you are.
I can't remember what I ate for breakfast. So
yeah,
keep going. So anyway, so the pop punk that's
that one.
So
I took some photos there, and I remember the photo I had of the lead singer of Stray Dogs, where the light was beaming straight down on him. He had his leg up, he had the mic here, and I was like, fuck, I have a knack for this. So I was in Northern Health School at the time, and my teacher, I showed her that, and she was like, huh, I have a camera that you can borrow if you want to try, do some actual photography, because I had only ever recorded one thing in the past. I'd filmed a short movie for a friend for her school project, and so I didn't really know what to do with a camera at all, and I've self-taught myself pretty much everything. But it was a really crappy Sony A100 that she let me borrow until about October 20th ish, and it was the worst of the worst, DSLR-wise, but it did the job, and it was a great learning curve. You got to start with the worst if you want to learn yourself and gain your own style. I began using that, and not editing. I would just post them straight away, and it was okay. It was photos. And then I did that for a very long time, until August 30th, I was at a gig. It was Grim Remney Cut Shapes The Second Death. It was Grim Remney's return-ish show, but then their proper return show was the month afterwards on September 21st. But at that gig, right as it finished, I was outside with some friends, and my friend Ruby, who is also a photographer. I don't know. Can I class you as a friend? I don't know. An acquaintance, Ruby. I don't know. We don't talk much, but she's also a photographer in the scene.
Okay.
And she was like, you should try editing some of your photos and, work on them quite a bit more. Because obviously I was doing the photos, they worked, but they never really popped. And then the night after, August 31st, I decided to edit some of the photos. And from that show, I got $150.
Got paid?
Yeah. First
Damn.
time editing the photos, and I got paid. It was Hearst Hunter.
Yep.
Powder Shoots, and Achilles Complex from Hamilton.
Mm-hmm. No, fuck, sick.
Yeah. So it was that show, and I edited a set of photos for that. I only edited about half, and I got paid for the first time that night, and I was like, wow. So I kept going, and I didn't expect the pay because I knew that was a once in a very big lifetime thing. I've only ever been paid for 3 gigs.
Yeah, I mean, how many have you done now? You must have done a few hundred.
72?
I was going to say, I thought you did 100.
Last year I did 67-ish.
Damn, that's a lot of gigs.
Since April 20th.
That's a lot of gigs.
So that was pretty much every week, multiple times a week. But from there, I just kept my consistency, and I just wanted to do as much as possible. I'm surrounded in so many areas. I'm helping with gigs. I'm shooting gigs. I'm working on my own gigs. I'm working on my own band. I'm working on so much. And I've been in a very big burnout recently. It's been rough.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work. I've been in a massive burnout recently. I've also been...
And take care of yourself, bro.
Yeah.
Getting some sleep.
I'm getting out of it now, which is good. Which is actually really good because I'm also starting something sort of similar to this. A few weeks back, I posted a little interview thing I did with Stag, Yarrow.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I've got one with JX at Sign coming up as well. Sorry,
Nice.
stealing all your customers.
You are.
But
Nah, it's all good.
yeah, I'm just
All
trying
meant
to
to be
do
shared.
as much as possible to keep my brain busy, and it's working great. Because the photography,
Just don't spread yourself
Yeah.
too thin, bro.
yeah, exactly. It distracts my brain while I'm at the gigs, and I can actually hear the music and enjoy it.
So if you find when you do photography at a gig, you can hear the music better, you find, because you're focusing.
Yeah, I'm focusing, and
You're not letting your
I've got
mind
something on
wander.
my brain rather than just
Right. Not letting your mind wander or something
Yeah.
like that.
I went to Mount Smart Stadium the other Sunday because I had some tickets for free for there, and it was some bands that I'd seen in the past, or one other bands I'd seen in the past, and the other two were not really. But it was, I could barely hear it because I was so confused at what to do without photography. Like, obviously, when I'm at a gig, I'm not just doing photography. I'm very freelance, and a lot of the gigs, I'm not actually hired to shoot. So I'll shoot my photos, then I'll enjoy myself. I will put the camera down, I'll go mosh for a bit, I'll, just hang around and, just hang out with friends. But with the photography, it is just really eye-opening to me, and it is love.
It's interesting that you find yourself listening to the music more with photography. Because for me, I would probably not even be listening. I'd be too busy focusing on getting
I get
a good
very
shot.
distracted very easily.
Right.
And
Maybe you do have ADD.
I don't.
You've been
I-
tested for it?
Probably. I was tested for a lot of things, but I don't have ADHD or ADD,
Oh, okay.
which is surprising. But yeah, I get
There's not
distracted.
really, there's
and
not
my
really
mind
much.
is
I'll be honest with
racing
you, there's not
constantly.
really much they can do apart from give you Ritalin or drugs or something.
Exactly.
If you have it, it doesn't really, like, I got tested for it, and they were like, yeah, you pretty much have it, but you gotta take Ritalin and do all this, and I'm like, I'm not having pills, get back. So I'm just like, my ADD self.
Yeah.
Well, sort of like
Well, it's your
it's
own
not.
self,
It's not
so-
that. It's not that severe. It's not
Yeah.
like crazy. Like for example, there's people with like severe ADHD where you talk to them for a bit and they're just like doing this, and then they're like, "What are you talking to me?" And you're like, "Holy shit, bro! Like
Yeah.
we just you just spoke to me for like 5 minutes, and then you just like tuned out."
Yeah.
But they do that regularly, so that's like the extreme level of it, right?
Yeah.
Seen that. Ah, well, look at you doing all your projects and stuff. You just don't spread yourself too thin, bro. That's the only thing I'd say.
Yeah.
Because, like, what happens is suddenly, like, quality of things you do can start to hinder.
Oh, definitely.
And
No,
obviously,
I
you
know
got
my
your bands,
limits,
you got your
and-
photography, you might do a little interview podcast thing. You might be you got things lined
I've
up.
got a lot lined up.
Which is very cool, and it's
very
great that
cool.
you're a part of the
Yes.
scene doing a lot of that, and it's great that you want
There's
to
a
be
lot
involved all
that's
that
working
work.
on
But
behind the scenes that I don't think I can say. But yeah.
exclusive.
Exclusive, yes.
But I just think that you just don't want to spread yourself too thin. It's my only advice for you.
No, that's fair. I know my limits ish. And I am watching myself for another burnout. If there's another burnout, I need to cut something off.
All right, bro. I think it's getting hot as fuck, and I'll be real. I'm getting hungry. So I'm thinking I'll do some quick fires, eh? You know how
Yeah.
these work, bro. I was gonna throw some shit out there.
Sweet. Let's do it.
That's what I love doing. Fuck. Honestly, sometimes I should have a script, but I just have to make shit up. Okay. What is a band that that is a good one. I like it. I like this way this is going. What is a band that people say is heavy but isn't? Go on, say it.
Lorna Shore.
Ah, got me. Why are they not heavy? It's not noisy enough.
I did not say that. You know what I listen to.
I know. I like putting words in your mouth. That's why.
Yes, well,
I'm a journalist, bro. It's what I do. I just like tease you with things to make you say them.
Well, you shouldn't do that.
That's how journalists. Journalists work. I'm not a journalist, but that's what
They're not heavy enough because people see them and they say, "Oh, they're the heaviest thing I've ever listened to." Taking your words there, but they're really, if you actually like look at them, yes, they're heavy. Yes, they've got some interesting noises and screams and heavy shit, but it's really not. Like, I wouldn't say basic, but it's it's not as complex as you would say for something heavy. I'm sorry if there's some mass Lorna Shore fans here, but fuck you.
It's just funny though, because you see like complexity, and it doesn't mean heavy.
It doesn't mean heavy, but when you look at Lorna Shore, then I would say so.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't agree, but but I'm enjoying the snobbery with this because it's been a while since I've had it. All right, let's go on to the next one.
Quickfire, blah, blah, blah.
Let's go. What is the strangest thing you've seen at a gig?
Is that available for podcast terms?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want recent? Do you want not recent?
I want top. I want number one.
The strangest thing I've seen in a gig. There's so much. It's gigs. I mean, everyone's on something and listening to music they love while doing stupid shit. I've seen people pile on top of each other. I've seen people attempt to take people away. I've seen... There was this one gig in October last year where these drunk football guys were there, and it was Flea Miller gig, and they just kept on, every time the song would stop they would yell, "Turn the party up," and then they decided to try Kiss Some Minors, and they got pulled out by security mid-gig. And I thought that was pretty crazy to see. And I actually quoted them in that post.
How old are they?
They were like
mid-20s,
mid-20s, 30s-ish, but they were very fucked up.
That's pretty good.
I thought that was pretty weird. And I actually quoted them in that post, on the Flea Miller post, October 27th, at Big Fan.
You're right, that is weird. I'll give you that. That is weird.
And they got kicked out, and I quoted, "Turn the party up," in that post, in the description.
Nice. I like your descriptions.
I used to do a lot more. I used to write a paragraph for everyone, but it's like, I've seen all these bands already, so yeah, they were good. Yes, good. I'm getting back into the paragraphs. I'm going a bit longer with them, but it's a bit. I've done a few reviews also with Flea Miller. September 27th, a month before that event, I did a review for his label Catman Records for the Pink Plates Buzz gig on that day. And
now there's a band.
Which one? Pink Plates. Oh yes, I just lied.
Yeah, we love lying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So,
yeah, but there's a lot of weird stuff that does happen at gigs, and I'm blabbering on about that a lot and not saying much. But I mean, it's gigs.
The Kissing Minors is weird.
You're clamming the best people and the worst people all together, and everyone is either on something, trying to enjoy themselves, or, just mentally iffy.
Right.
And shit's gonna happen. I mean, at the last gig I was at, Core on the Shore, on the 23rd of this month, there was this guy who was taking people out to his car to get some gin, and it was very obviously roofied, and
Oh,
it was and
hell.
I had a couple friends tell me about him,
That shit still happens.
and yeah, it was just very sad to hear because it's like you think you're in this safe place. I mean, that venue was already like
all ages
emu
as well,
concentration camps. Yeah, all ages.
Yeah.
It was that place was like a prison. They would not let you out, but this guy was just taking people out and giving them drinks and stuff. No one got taken, thankfully, but I had a friend who had to sleep like the entire day afterwards, and I had another friend who was like getting grabbed by him in the pit and just kept elbowing him, and it was just really gross. A lot of weird stuff happens at gigs, and it's disgusting.
Yeah, that does happen. I've had my fair share of elbows to the face, and
not the elbows. I'm talking about the creepy men.
Oh, the creepy stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, there is that there. I've had to boot people out of gigs for that shit.
Yep.
But it's been a minute. Fuck, I can't believe it. I mean, I can believe it happens, but it's sad to hear it still happens. All right, I'll give you one more. What is a band that you've recently discovered that people should check out?
Do I need to say it one more time? Sylvan Awe from Australia. They're a pretty small black metal band with doom elements, and they change genres a lot in their songs. Beautiful stuff. And a band that should be checked out more, I guess I'll just say, Late to Chelsea. Give the boys some love. Come to their show tomorrow. Oh, this won't be out by then. Damn. Come to Late to Chelsea show on February 1st, and there's also a Late to Chelsea show on February 15th that you should go to. Headlock Grave at Big Fan. Late to fucking Chelsea.
They might not be out then, but
Probably not.
I'm sure they'll appreciate it.
They'll appreciate it if it's heard.
If it's heard, exactly. All right, bro. And last one, what have you got going on? Where can people find you?
Gigs, mate. If you want to find me, just go to a gig. I'm friendly. I'll talk to anyone, really. And,
As long as you're not a poser.
I'll talk to posers. I'm friends with a couple people I would class as a poser.
Damn.
I know, right?
How could you?
Oh, I need to drop them. Ugh. Nah, I'm really friendly. I'll talk about anything you want. You can come find me at gigs. You can come find me in the city pretty much any day. You can come out to me. You can interview me if you want. Just fucking pull out a camera. I don't give a shit. You have permission to do that. You can, just come say hello. I'll say hi back. And, Riley fucking Cochrane.
There we go. So, bro, thanks for coming on. I think we'll call it there. And wish you all the best of what you're doing.
Indeed, you too.
Sure.